morning. Happy Monday. Trans people are under attack, in case you missed that. And it's becoming increasingly difficult to exist in trans joy.
Maybe I missed some big event that happened, because I have no idea what Dylan is talking about. What new oppressive thing did suddenly appear that trans people are under attack again? Did the government pass some new law? Probably not. It's still Biden that is in charge. So why is it suddenly so difficult to exist in trans joy? Nobody is trying to silence him. He has a huge platform on TikTok, makes a ton of money from brand deals. So what is the problem?
Let's do it. Let's try to find the will, right? Okay. My merch is about to go on sale and we gotta go. We're gonna be late. Come on.
For those of you who have been asking how Dylan and all the others are able to afford their surgeries and lifestyle, this is how. Dylan is selling merchandise now, and of course a lot of videos are sponsored by huge brands.
Everyone meet the Day 365 ensemble we have.
Mars, they, them. Ren, they, them.
Samora, she, they.
Zachary, she, they.
Oh my God, it's happening.
I don't know if it's just me, but they don't seem like people I would like to be around. All of them look like biological women except Samora, while all identifying as something different. So a really diverse group that excludes straight white men. Kinda sexist if you ask me.
I don't think I can fully articulate what it felt like to have trans and non-binary people and women and queer humans like sitting in a room.
But now, let's move on to a topic I have already discussed some time ago. You probably are all familiar with Jeffrey Marsh. He or she or whatever has been receiving a lot of criticism from people all across the political spectrum for turning children against their parents. Jeffrey has been doing coachings for young people on how to successfully cut off their family. And no, this is not a joke. I wish it was. So it appears that he has deleted a few of his older videos, which were targeting children. I don't know what the reason for this was, if he got sued by some parents, or what exactly happened, but I will try to find out.
God is non-binary. You know, if man's created in God's image and woman is created in God's image, then God must be trans.
Lord have mercy. So let's unpack this. People who say they are non-binary believe that they are neither male nor female. They basically say that they don't fit into the two standard gender identities. Saying that God is non-binary could make a bit sense if we use their definition, because God is not human. So God probably isn't male or female. Makes a bit of sense to say this even though the underlying motives are devious and manipulative. We can let that one slide. But then Jeffrey said that God is trans, which first of all would completely go against his or her or whatever first claim, and second of all it is completely moronic. Trans people think that their gender identity doesn't align with what they are on the outside. So it makes no sense when we say that God is non-binary, so not a woman or man, and then say that God is trans, which means that God doesn't identify with his or her original gender. So God has no gender and gender dysphoria at the same time. How is that even possible?
Being brave is being yourself, and being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do.
I do not agree with this person. It is definitely not the bravest thing you can do. What about people who go to war? Or firefighters who are ready to risk their lives to save lives? Are they less brave than someone who just decided that they identify as their opposite gender? For me, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Sure, you have to be brave, or as I call it, mentally ill to chop off your private parts, but that's definitely nowhere near soldiers or firefighters.
Are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
because
it's her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay.
Oh no, that's horrible. He just used male pronouns when referring to a biological male. How could he do something like that? Ben is correct. This is delusion that the American media is portraying as something you should be proud of.
Forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that his brain structure is male. It turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is irrelevant to the question of his biological sex.
The clip I used is really old, but for those of you who haven't seen it, the gentlewoman next to Ben The one with the not at all male hands and huge arms threatened Ben that if he didn't stop, he would be leaving the building in an ambulance. That wasn't very ladylike of her. But what do I know? Biology doesn't matter anymore to these people. If you don't agree, you are transphobic, even though a phobia means that you're afraid of something. I'm not afraid of trans people, so I guess I can't be transphobic.
Do you agree that there are only males and females in the human race?
No.
Okay, so you definitely don't agree with my conclusion then at all.
No.
We actually are totally on opposite sides of this question, it turns out. So what are the other categories if not male and female?
You can hear the silence on this one. So my question is, what are these people fighting for? They think that there is more than two genders, but when you ask them to name even one, they have no clue. Are they just fighting to be rebellious? Because otherwise their whole fight doesn't make any sense. What cause are you fighting for?
We're going to be here all night if I have to doing that.
We're not, because there's none that you can list.
Men are faster than women, men are stronger than women, and men are better at sports than women. Period.
I think we can all agree that what he said is true. Sure, there is some women out there that are insanely strong, much faster than many men, and better at sports. But exceptions prove the rule. If you look at sports, most disciplines are dominated by men. The fastest person on this planet is a man. The strongest person on earth is also a man.
Woke culture is becoming extremely dangerous, and there is a big push right now within the UK and the US for the inclusion, or more inclusion, of transgender women within women's sports.
Transgender women, or as biology would say, men.
Ironic that there's not a worry about the inclusion of transgender men in men's sports. And then you get called transphobic if you push back against these.
You know why? Because it doesn't really fit the narrative. On one hand, they want to say that women are just as strong and fast as men, but if they let transgender men, also known as biological women, compete against biological men, they would prove that women are weaker. Crazy, right? Almost feels like they know that their narrative has massive weak points, but don't want to admit it.
Klein Simpson changed her gender and name legally close to 2 years ago, and she's been on hormone replacement therapy for more than 3 years. She says she wants to work out at a women's-only gym where she will feel comfortable, unlike her experiences at gyms while in university.
Do you see the problem here? Maybe Peter Griffin here really identifies as a woman. I don't know. But there is always a chance that it's all just a way for him to get into spaces made exclusively for women. Imagine if the only thing creeps need to do to get into these spaces is to put on a wig and some makeup. And this behavior would enable exactly that.
We pick the comfort of the transgender person, and they may not be as comfortable with the co-ed gym, but at least that's an alternative. Or do we pick the comfort of the young girls that are working out there? They may not feel comfortable. I don't know if is that fair to them, and what would parents think? What would you think if this is your daughter there?
He is a business owner, and if something happened, he would be the one held responsible. I think that's enough for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video with your friends. I wish all of you a great day. See you in the next video.